Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time is about the world's biggest simp. Now, I don't know the exact definition of a simp, but if there was a definition in human form, it would be this old friend of mine. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this story time. Leave a like on the video if you guys do, and let's jump right into this. So this story time takes place 6 months ago. It all started off as a normal day. I was at my house with two friends of mine, just hanging out with them, and it was my friend's birthday. And it wasn't one of the friends that was already at my house. It was another friend of ours. So me and my two friends at my house were planning like what we were going to do for him. We didn't know what he wanted. So we called my friend up and I'm like, yo, man, like happy birthday. What do you want to do today? Like anything you want to do, let's do it because it's your birthday. And he's like, nah, man, I'm going to spend it alone. And me and all my friends are like, nah, man, you're not spending your birthday by yourself. Like, come on, what do you want to do? He's like, I'm serious. I just want to be alone. And he seemed really sad. So we said okay, and we hung up, but we couldn't just leave it at there. We wanted to, like, make this day special for our homie. So me and my two friends start planning what we're going to do, and we just decided that, like, just the three of us will go over there, hang out with him for, like, an hour or two, buy him whatever dinner he wants to have, get him a cake if he wants it, and, like, leave it at that. We won't throw, like, a huge party for him, just in case he really does not want to be, with a bunch of people, but we want to do something for him. So we go to the store, and we buy a cake, and we buy some food, and we just buy some, normal things, right, for a birthday. And we start driving to my friend's house, and we expect to walk in, and he'll just be sitting on his computer, just kind of by himself, listening to music, playing video games, right? Well, we get to his house, and we walk in, and his mom's there, and she's like, hey, like, he's really depressed today, like, I don't think he likes that he's getting older, so just, go easy with the birthday stuff, don't yell it in his face, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, for sure. So we go up to his door upstairs, we knock on the door, and we're just waiting there for like a minute. He was taking forever to open the door. It sounded like he was clicking off of stuff on his computer, and then he comes up to the door and he answers it. He's like, oh, hey, guys, what's up? And we're like, hey, man, happy birthday. And he's like, thanks, guys. Like, sorry I didn't want to hang out. I was just not in the right headspace, but I'm feeling a little bit better now. And I was like, all right, man, like, I'm glad to hear that. So what do you want to do today? And he's like, I kind of want to go skate, honestly. I'm like, all right, let's go skate. So he walks out of his room to go downstairs to get his board, and he leaves us all in there. And my friend immediately jumps on his computer and starts playing CS on his computer. And my friend who jumped on his computer is like the one friend that I just never want to have sometimes because like whenever I leave my room or I go to do something outside of my room, he just jumps on my computer and gets on it and starts playing on my accounts and just fucking everything up. And yeah, that's the type of person he was. So anyway, he jumped on my friend's computer and he starts playing CS on his account, and then he minimizes it and opens up my friend's web browser and starts going through my friend's history, like his search history. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And he's like, I just want to see what he looks up. I'm like, bro, don't do that. Come on. Like, I would hate you if you did that. And he's like, nah, man, this is payback. He looks at my search history all the time and exposes me. It's my turn. And I'm like, whatever, dude. Just don't say that I did it. And he's like, don't worry, I won't. So he starts going through my friend's search history. And in the last 10 minutes, he had opened up OnlyFans like 7 different times. Specifically these 2 different girls' profiles. He opened them each a bunch of different times. And when my friend found this, he was like, yo, jackpot! And he clicks on their profiles and starts scrolling through their OnlyFans because my friend had a subscription to them. So this is when I was like, all right, yo, get off his computer. Like, stop looking through this stuff. This is personal to him. Like, I would be so mad if you did this to me. And then right after I said that, my friend starts opening up like all the tips he sent these girls. And just for the minute that he was on his computer, he was able to add up over $3,000 in tips. In only the last month alone. So in the last month, my friend, the one whose birthday it was, tipped these girls over $3,000 in like a 4-week span. And my friend worked a part-time job at a pet store. So like he wasn't making a bunch of money. Like that's more than 3 months of pay for him. So he must have been saving and saving and saving and just ready to blow his whole like check on these girls. So right after my friend figures this out, my other friend walks back into his room with his skateboard, and he sees our friend on his computer looking through his OnlyFans history and seeing how much he donated. And he's like, yo, get off my computer. What are you doing, man? And my friend jumps off, and he's like, yo, my bad, man. I'm just, getting you back for looking through my history that one time. And he goes, I don't care. Like, that was like 2 months ago, bro. Get over it. He's like, why are you on my computer? And my friend's like, bro, I just wanted to see what you were up to, and clearly you've been up to a lot. And I'm just staying super quiet because the last thing I want is my friend on his birthday to think that all of his friends were on his computer looking through his stuff. So I stayed super quiet and made sure that he didn't think that I was a part of this. And yeah, they're just arguing back and forth. And I have another friend there as well, and he's just staying silent as well because we were not a part of this. And yeah, they're just arguing and arguing. And finally, my friend just says it. He's like, yo, you spent over $3,000 on OnlyFans, bro. Like, that's a problem. You are king simp. And my other friend's like, dude, what I spend on whatever isn't your business. And he is correct. It's not anyone's business to know what he does with his money, but he didn't make a lot, and $3,000 on OnlyFans is quite a big amount compared to what he makes. So I do understand why my friend was concerned for him, But anyway, they keep arguing for like 5 minutes, and I interrupt. I'm like, yo, both of you, shut up. Stop arguing. It's our homie's birthday. Let's cut this out. Like, you were wrong for going on his computer, and bro, you shouldn't be spending $3 grand on OnlyFans. Like, that's just all I'm gonna say. Leave it at that. Let's go to have a good birthday now. So after that, we all just kind of quietly leave his room, and we go back to my friend's car. We drive back to my friend's house, get our boards there, and then we head to the skate park. And I thought that'd be the end of it, right? I didn't think that there was actually like a big issue there and that it'd be done with. You know, it was just a nice bit of fun. But no, that wasn't the end of it at all. So fast forward like a week from now, I'm hanging out with the same friends, like all the same people, and King Simp is in the front seat and he's complaining about not having money. And my other friend's in the driver's seat, and he's the one that found out about the OnlyFans stuff. And he chimes in, and he's like, yo, maybe you'd have more money if you didn't spend so much money every month on OnlyFans. And King Simp just sighs, and he's like, you know what, man? You're right. He's like, you're totally right. So I chime in. I'm like, yo, just like out of curiosity, and like, you don't have to tell me, but like, how much do you think you've spent on OnlyFans in a total? And he goes, honestly, man, like 13 grand. And that's when everyone in the car just like jaw dropped. Because like, this is a person that does not make 13 grand a year. So I don't know where he got this money, and I have no idea how long he's been saving it, just ready to go on this OnlyFans binge, but he must have been saving for a long time. So after he says this, he starts going on a rant about how he's horrible with money, spending it on a bunch of stuff he doesn't need, like OnlyFans, and he said that he needed our help to try and be better with money. And I'm like, yeah, man, like whatever you want me to do or whatever you want us to do, like I'm sure we'll do it. And he's like, all right, man, like how about I give you guys the login to my bank account, and every time you guys see a purchase that's non-essential, you could hit me up and ask me about it or tell me to stop. And I'm like, all right, man, like if that's what you want to do. So he gives me and my friend in the driver's seat the login to his bank account, and we download the app and we log in and we keep an eye on it. And I think that that'd be the end of it, right? I thought that now that he knows we're looking at his bank account, he wouldn't make, more purchases. And, I was wrong. I was so wrong, okay? Like, very wrong. So fast forward to like 3 a.m. that same night, I get on my phone to check his bank to see if he's, buying anything that he doesn't need. And I see a $400 purchase. Can you guess from where? Yep, OnlyFans. So I FaceTime him and I'm like, dude, I'm going to change your name to King Simp if you don't stop buying things on OnlyFans. What'd you just spend $400 on? He's like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I got an addiction. Can you please just take my OnlyFans login and delete it? And I'm like, just give me it. So he gives me his login for OnlyFans, right? And I go on there and I cancel his subscriptions and I change his password and I basically lock him out of the account because clearly he had an addiction to OnlyFans and spending money on OnlyFans. So I lock him out of the account. He tells me thank you for helping him. And I think that'll be the end of it, right? Sadly, that wasn't the case. This story time doesn't have the happiest ending, okay? So fast forward like a month after this happened, me and all my friends are hanging out, and my one friend gets a suspicious text telling him if he doesn't send $800 to this Cash App address, all of his social medias would be hacked and he would lose everything. Basically just a really creepy blackmailing text. And my friend looked up the number, and we all researched it, and we found out that the number belonged to someone with the same last name as King Simp. So we looked up the number even more, and we looked up that girl's name, and it ended up being his cousin. So we called up his cousin, and we're like, hey, are you letting your cousin use your old phone number? And she was like, yeah, I am. Why? And we're like, oh, well, he's blackmailing people with it. And she's like, what? And we sent him proof. And yeah, it turns out that King Simp was trying to rob his friends, basically, and blackmail them for money because he was spending so much of his own money on random stuff, such as OnlyFans. So yeah, we all stopped being friends with King Simp, to say the least. That was the end of the King Simp tale, right then and there, and we don't talk to him anymore. And you're probably like, well, how are you sure that it was him? My friend who was getting the creepy text messages called up King Simp later that night, and he admitted to it. He said that he was sorry and he just wasn't making enough money, so he tried some cheap tactic like that. And yeah, needless to say, we weren't friends with him anymore because even though he had an issue and we felt bad for him, you can't steal from your friends. That's just not okay. So yeah, I don't know where he's at nowadays. Hopefully he received proper help for his, money spending problems and, thief problems. But yeah, guys, moral of the story is don't steal from your friends. Don't spend all your money in one place. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.
Like what's up? They leave me out for the dead and now they know they're fucked. All my texts are unread, that's how